one of the things we always like to do, and Coach Strong wanted the rest of the varsity coaches at the University of Texas to have an opportunity to visit with folks as well, and that's why we're thrilled to have the man with the most tenure, the most experience, the most skins on the wall at the University of Texas, now in his 37th season on the 40 acres and his 43rd season overall as a collegiate head coach. How about a hand for the head swimming coach at Texas, Eddie Reese?
Thanks.
Does it seem like 37 years for you here?
Those numbers just make me think I'm old.
But it's all a frame of mind thing, right?
Right. Well, I started at age 13, so it's not too bad.
There you go. That's not a bad deal, you know. For folks in Austin, obviously, and Longhorn faithful obviously know what Coach Reese has done. For those of you who need a little refresher, no men's swimming and diving program has more NCAA national championships, 10. There are 29 Olympians that have come through under Coach Reese's tutelage, have won 39 gold medals, 16 silver, 8 bronze. His swimmers at Texas have 49 NCAA individual titles, 39 NCAA relay crowns, 3-time head coach of the U.S. Olympic men's swimming team at Barcelona in 92, Athens in 04, and Beijing in 08. About a third of that 08 team were Longhorns as well. I know that made you very proud.
Yeah. They did a real good job. That was a phenomenal year.
Was it easier when you've got your guys on an Olympic team, even though you've got other ones as well, but to have a collection of your guys from Texas make it a little bit easier to get a squad ready to go?
Actually, I had 8 out of the 21 men, and it was a problem because I had to take care of those 8 and the other 13. We had other coaches there, but I was responsible. I had to go to all the press conferences, and nobody over there gets the jokes.
Well, that's true. You've had an opportunity to do some amazing things at Texas. What has pleased you most about the time that you've spent here in Austin and at UT?
Wow, I haven't been asked that. Actually, it would be what others have done, because when you have a very successful season and your team does better than you expect, that means that they trusted you, and that's always a high point for me.
Now, you returned 32 swimmers and divers, including 14 All-Americans. Last year, you placed second in the NCAA championships and won the 35th consecutive conference title. This is a very, very deep team with, I guess, few, if any, weaknesses. I mean, do you have any weaknesses on this team?
Just the coach.
I don't think that's much of a weakness. Now, I want to give you a chance to talk a little about your coaching staff and your methods for what you do. First of all, let me get you to talk a little bit about Chris Kubik, who's been with you for 32 of your 37 seasons here, diving coach Matt Scoggin. I mean, those are very, very important people to you, I know.
Well, Chris has been with me forever. He came from Memphis State to Auburn my last year at Auburn. And I think his main job, because of the way he is, has been to take care of me. And he's just done a great job with that. And Matt Scoggins is like diving coach of the year every year in the NCAAs. There is nobody like those two guys out there.
Now, you say take care of you. You seem like one of the lower maintenance guys I've ever come across. Is that not true?
Pretty much. You'd have to ask my wife about that.
Is that true? Is he low maintenance? That's good. That's good to know. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the guys who are a big part of this team in the coming season and some of the things that you do, the tactics, the way you go about the method to your madness as well. Because I know you've said it's madness before, so there's got to be a method to it, right?
There is. You're asking way too good a question.
No. We'll get to all that coming up. Eddie Reese, our special guest. This is Longhorn Weekly, live from Pluckers, the West Campus location. We'll continue in a moment. To visit with Texas men's swimming coach Eddie Reese and talking about this this phenomenal squad you've had year after year after year. There was a few years back in visiting with Texas men's basketball coach Rick Barnes. He credited you, gave you a lot of credit for how he was able to try to get his guys to the next level when it came to the training cycle, and saying sometimes you can push a little too hard or do a little too much. And he said, I learned an awful lot from Eddie Reese about what you need to do. And I know you have your own pretty elaborate training cycle as well. So what's the secret to making sure you get the most out of your young men, and by the same token, don't push them too much?
They're doing a lot of studies on that stuff right now, and they're doing EEGs to study brain waves. And the brain waves not only affect how they think, but it affects their ability to do physical work or to train. And as luck would have it, we picked the right direction to go because we have a positive situation on deck. Chris and I are both face readers. If we get somebody that looks like they've had a bad day, we'll talk to them and maybe put them over in the diving well or something like that. Swimming is an individual sport that's scored as a team sport, and you will succeed better if the team is behind you. So we just try to individualize as much as we can, but still keep it within the context of the team sport. And training-wise, the thing the seniors always say about the incoming freshmen is they feel sorry for them because every year our program gets a little bit harder. Because when you reach a certain age, the only way you can get better is by working harder. So what you did last year, if you do the same, and that may moved you up to an 8, if you do the same thing, you may only be a 7. Because you've got to change these stimuli to make the body adjust at a higher level.
And your guys readily accept this and understand this and therefore push themselves a little more? Or do they need a little encouragement there?
Readily accept this. See, that's the first part I heard. Actually, we have a practice that they always give me more than I ask for. And we have a culture that is crazy. If I take 3 people and tell one to go 52s for hundreds, and they'll end up going 49s. If another one's supposed to go 55s, they'll be going 52s. They're always better than I ask. And there's never been a coach that's asked anybody in practice to slow down, don't work so hard, and I haven't either.
Wow. Now, you mentioned the fact that it might be a little more difficult on the youngsters coming in. Is there a science in the recruiting of it, just like there's a science in recruiting of other sports as well, to find that kind of individual who not only has the physical talent and maybe even the mental makeup, but someone who can challenge himself when the bar continually is raised, as you described?
That's a great point. It's so important. You can get somebody that swam 5 days a week for 4,000 yards. And if I put them in the same program, they would not do anything their first year. They would swim slow. So there are 3 ways to work people out. You can work them too hard, just right, or too easy. If you work them too hard, they're not going to be as fast as they would be on the other 2. And so you've got to be careful with that, with freshmen on that point.
Your season opener is Friday night at home against Texas A&M. And, of course, the training really intensifies heavily right after Christmas, getting ready for March as well. So did your guys come back from the holidays normally understanding and knowing how that training regimen is going to intensify? And, again, readily accepting of that?
They do readily accept it, but we've changed the names of some of the months. October has become Rocktober. Because the workouts are so hard, they say I rock them. And that leads us into Slowvember. Because when you work real hard, I don't ever say too hard to them. Then we're easy to beat in November. If you want to beat us in a dual meet, schedule us from the end of October to the middle of January. Don't schedule us after that. But in between there, that's really tough. And We come back on the 27th of December after Christmas vacation. We go home for a week. And they come back, and it's us and the campus and sometimes the basketball team. Everybody wants to know, where do you go to train? Do you take a Christmas trip? We say, yeah. We go to Austin, Texas. Everybody wants to go there, and we just go there anyway.
I want to ask you about a few of your seniors. Your All-American senior, Kip Darmody, who had substantial points last year at the NCAA championships. He was third in the 100 backstroke, sixth in the 200 backstroke, while competing on 5 All-American relays. Can you ask much more of a senior?
They all just work hard. And if you work hard, you can find out how good you can be. And there's nothing better than that. And the biggest reward for a swimmer, everybody talks about winning the NCAAs. We don't ever talk about it. We talk about what you can do to be faster than you were last year. If Kip goes faster than he went last year, he could be winning events. And he will go faster. He's working harder, and everybody around him is working harder.
Well, among those others, you have a junior in Matt Ellis who had a real breakthrough summer, ultimately secured him a spot on the U.S. roster for the Pan-Pacific Swim Championships in August. He cracked the world's top 10 in the 100-meter butterfly, and he ranks 9th in the world this year. His teammate, Joseph Schooling of Singapore, ranks 8th in the world. Having those two guys, that's a great 1-2 combo there, isn't it?
It is. It really is. That's Matt improved second and 3/10 over 100 meters, which from the point he improved from, that's in the amazing category. But he and Joseph both have not come close to what they're going to do.
Wow. All right. I also want to ask you about a junior, John Murray. He showed his versatility in the NCAA championships. He had a split 18.3 seconds, 18.36 seconds. It's the fastest relay split in the entire meet on the 200 free relay. That's another guy who already has some great numbers posted, and yet has so much more he can attain for you.
Yeah, and wants to. He wants to get better. John started playing with breaststroke in February because we were looking for somebody to swim 50 breaststroke fast. And we didn't. We've got guys that swim good hundreds, but they're not big and strong, can't swim the 50 that fast. And John kept playing with it and playing with it. He jumped on our 200 medley relay. He was the 4th fastest time in the meet. And he hadn't swum breaststroke since age 14. And it was his idea. So most of what I know that works and what I've learned from listening to them. But that doesn't mean I listen all the time.
All right. We'll close with this. It's an old thing to ask a coach if you ever get tired of winning championships. And, they wait after 2 or 3, and they'll say, oh, no, the feeling never gets old. I mean, it's legitimate to ask you. You've won 10. I mean, does it ever get a little, if not old, maybe a little routine?
No, because I look for different things. When we go to the meet and we've got 16 swimmers and 13 of them swim really well, that gives us a chance to win the meet, and 3 of them don't, then I'm worried about what could I have done better to make those 3 better. And so we won 1 title, and we didn't expect to win it. And the relay finished, and we had won the meet. I turned to Chris Kubik, and I said, we didn't expect to win that one. And that's it.
That's why he's the best swim coach in the world. It's Eddie Reese with us. Coach, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Coach Strong will rejoin us when Longhorn Weekly continues for your Pluckers, Longhorn Network, Longhorn IMG Radio Network.